Hi all, Fuzzy Bear Barbarian here again. Okay, so there are a lot of YouTube videos going up about a loot farming method in the Dreaming City's Ascendant challenge. I've seen titles like Unlimited Engrams, and I think I saw something like the Loot Cave is back or something hyping it up like that. Basically, there's a lot of hype about this particular loot farm, so I decided this was the next one to check out. I won't go into detail about the farming method since you can watch the footage playing to see for yourself, but in short you consume a tincture of Queen's Foil and enter a rift into the Ascendant realm, after which you camp on a tree for as long as you can, shooting Whisper of the Worm at a night named the Abysmal Night, which is quite apt for this loot farming method. If you plan on doing this loot farm, I recommend watching the rest of this video to make up your mind on doing so first. Then know that to do this particular farm solo, you absolutely cannot be low level. I'm not sure exactly where the break-even point of being able to do it is power-wise, but I can tell you at a power level of 525 with a 500 level Whisper of the Worm, it is basically impossible. You simply can't dish out enough damage on the Abysmal Knight before he despawns and respawns, preventing you from being able to kill him. I did this at a power level of 530 with a 523 power level Whisper, and at one point a critical hit didn't register for me, and after that I didn't down the Knight because I had to reload. So even at a 530 level you can miss a shot, and that will mean you will fail killing the Knight that round. So to do this I'd suggest you have to be close to 530 with a close to 525 Whisper of the Worm, and basically do not miss a shot. If you're under that, forget even trying unless you're with a team, but since I'm making these videos from a solo perspective, that's what it is. Okay, moving on. Just like my first loot farm test video, 1 hour was my commitment to this. I emptied my armor and weapon slots and took note of what was in my inventory so I'd easily be able to tell you what I got at the end of it all, which was this. 11,830 glimmer. I got 12 legendary shards after breaking down the weapons and armor that I got. I received absolutely no resources apart from 34 weapon parts when I broke down weapons and armor. I managed to get 3 legendary weapons, 5 legendary armor pieces, and 2 prime engrams. Unfortunately, 1 prime engram converted into gloves of the same power level as my current gloves, so there was no gain there. And the other prime engram was a chest piece that ended up +5 higher than my chest piece that I had on, so yes, there was a +5 gain there. But even if both prime engrams had given me a power level gain, I honestly don't see how anyone can call this a loot farm or loot cave. In terms of actual loot, this farm gave me hardly any really. The first loot farm test I did, which was in the lost sector called the Strand, actually gave me more loot than this, including a bunch of useful resources as well as more legendary armor than I got here. Admittedly, the Strand gave me 1 less legendary weapon and 1 less prime engram, but it also gave me less RSI, didn't make my eyes bleed, and didn't have me screaming for someone to end it all at only 15 minutes in. Not only was this Abysmal Night not really lucrative at all, doing it actually managed to hurt me physically as well as mentally. And again, I'm not kidding, in order to put damage on the Knight at my level, you have to proc the Whisper of the Worm's Whispered Breathing perk, which means you have to continually aim down sights and not stop. Between doing that and pressing fire a gazillion times over the course of the hour, I'm pretty sure the only winner in all of this was the surgeon I'll eventually have to see to fix my mouse hand. Maybe it'll be a bit easier with a controller, I don't know, but man, I don't see why you would bother unless the loot really was raining from the Knight, which it just plain doesn't. Alright, in fairness, I did get 2 prime engrams. I've heard of people getting 3 every hour and a half or so my results do tend to stack up with that, but the thing is, do you guys think it's worth it if you can net 2 prime engrams an hour consistently to do this? I for one don't. At least not this loot farm, man. I can't even call it a loot farm. It's more like a couple of prime engrams here and there farm. Would I recommend you try this? Well, if your power level is above 550 and you can put out double the damage that I'm doing in this, maybe you might want to try it to see if you can also double your prime engram drop, but I sincerely doubt that's what would happen. Or if you have a fire team of 3 putting the Knights down in seconds, then I don't know, maybe you can triple your potential for prime engram drop. But if your power level is 540 and down and you're a solo and you're trying to do this alone, then definitely stay away, as it'll feel worse than getting rewarded by 100 edge transits in a row. Alrighty, that'll do on this one, aside from to say I will never ever try to farm this particular Knight ever again. Ever. Ever.